Truthfulness is about transparency. When you develop this transparency, you start to see deeper into yourself. And that's the secret behind the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said, الرياء أو الشرك الخفي أخفى من دبيب النملة السوداء على الصخرة الصماء في الليلة الظلماء. He says, showing off, riya, which is a form of lying. You're lying to yourself and then you're lying to Allah. I'm doing this for Allah, but you're actually doing it for other people. That's proper lying. Riya, showing off, lack of sincerity is a clear manifestation, a clear act of untruthfulness. It's a lie. It's the biggest lie. But you're not lying with your tongue. You're lying through your being, through your state of being, through your actions. You're lying. So the Prophet ﷺ said, this kind of showing off and lack of sincerity is more hidden than the steps of an ant that is walking on a solid stone in the middle of the dark night. Can you hear the steps of an ant? You can't. Impossible. And showing off, lack of sincerity is more hidden than that, is more tacit than that. So oftentimes, and that's the problem, that in some hadith the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that a person will come to Allah with so many acts of worship, and then when he stands in the presence of Allah on the Day of Judgment, they will be turned into nothing. The person might think, yeah, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah, but you actually, if you really investigate, if you really look into yourself with honesty and clarity, you'll find you're doing it for another reason. And that's very dangerous. This is why the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, also reported by Muslim, the first 3 people who will be sent to the hellfire, the first 3 people are what? Alim, qari', someone who's memorized the Quran, someone who's and learned the meanings, and he teaches the people, and he's a scholar, alim, because that's what qari' really means. It's not only the memorization, it's the whole package. Qari', shaheed, martyr, and a generous person, kareem. These people will be the first ones to be sent to the hellfire. They will come to Allah. Allah will say, what did you do with all the things that I have, all my blessings upon you? Oh Allah, I fought for your sake and I got killed. I was martyred for your sake. Allah will say, you are lying. Imagine, Allah called lack of sincerity of intention, you're lying. Because you were lying to yourself in the dunya. You could not realize where you were coming from when you were doing your actions. You thought, oh, I'm doing this for the sake of Allah. No, you're just fooling yourself because you've lied so much that yourself lies to you and you don't see through that. And you live your whole life in a lie. That's the problem with lying. That's the problem with not being truthful in each and every affair of your daily life, personal, interpersonal interactions. You need to develop truthfulness. You need to pay attention to that. So Allah will say to him, no, you did that so that people will say he's a hero. He's a brave man. Send him to the hellfire. You got that. You got what you wanted. On the dunya, you got the reputation. Now to the hellfire. Second person, what did you do? Oh Allah, I memorized the Quran and I learned Islam and I taught people Islam for your sake. You're lying. Lack of sincerity is lying. You lied to yourself. Yourself lied back to you, and now you're lying to me. You think you're saying the truth. You're not. When you don't know yourself, you can't tell the truth. Believe me. You will make commitments that yourself doesn't really want to make. It's just the heat of the moment. The excitement sometimes overtakes you. But when you develop the clarity, you know. The third person is someone who's given so much for the sake of Allah. And Allah will ask him, what did you do with everything I've given you? And he would say, oh Allah, I gave so much money out for your sake. Allah will say, you know, you did that because you wanted people to recognize you, people to say you're generous. And indeed, people said, you got that? Send him to the hellfire. So, in a sense, truthfulness is a way of life. And if you can be true to yourself, true to Allah, true to other people, everything will just fall into place.